Any of that. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Buddies on Buddies. Show two real life buddies talking about buddy action comedy movies. I'm Kenny Lane.
Lucas Hill.
And this is the Buddies on Buddies show. Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, all right. This is a kind of a surprise episode. Usually we wait a month or two to do this, but we just thought, we owe it to our fans to start cranking these out.
I do another podcast, and between you and my other friend, they are hounding me to do these.
Oh, Lucas is very high to it. You can tell by what he brings to the show. I mean, it's everybody wants him.
And I'm the same attitude with him as I am with you. I'm just like, what time? This week?
Yeah. What show do you like doing more? What do you prefer? What's easier?
This one. I like this one. Yeah. Movies. It's usually around a half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
That one we're just shooting the shit for an hour,
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're both fine. It's just I'm the type of person who doesn't like anything on the docket,
Oh, I know you. I know. It's okay. Hey, what is that? We're still in dry January.
Non-alcoholic.
Damn. Thought I had you.
No.
I was going to use your falling off the wagon so I could fall off the wagon. And that's great. How's dry January going for you, by the way?
It's fine. It's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Less than a week away. So, but now when you get into this point, at least for me, I don't care.
It's almost the finish lines are already there. So whatever. I will say that we talked about things you can still enjoy things like golf or fishing or whatever that you normally do. I did find something that I like to do occasionally that is just not the same without drinking, and that is karaoke. Not as good when you're fucking cold sober and you got to get up there and sing some B-52s or some shit.
I can imagine that. And also the worst thing are people who aren't doing it. They're like, they don't want to get it, Yeah. Oh, we can have a drink tonight. Like, no, I'm not going to drink. Like, oh, come on. Do you want me to have a drink? Yeah. No, fuck off. Why are you talking to me about this?
Yeah. It's, why not? We'll start it next month, whatever.
Yeah.
But also, too, it's okay not drinking when you're not around people that are like drinking a lot. But when you are, like, yeah, it's why like designated drivers is not I don't know, it's really a successful thing because I don't know if anybody wants to be around people that are drinking hard when they're sober.
Yeah. And I get it. I'm that same. Well, at least I was. I don't do that anymore whatsoever. Someone's like, no, I'm not drinking. Cool. Can I give you sparkling water or something?
Yeah.
But in my younger days, I'm like, why? What's wrong? You fucking stupid? Is that the problem?
Yeah. It's kind of tacky to ask anybody so it's like, well, I don't drink. Why not? Well, alcohol is classified as a poison. So just not in taking it should be, fine enough.
It's slowly ruining my life. So I really can't take a drink. Pussy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't handle my life being ruined.
No one's that open about cocaine. No one ever goes, want some cocaine? Let's do some cocaine. They're all fucking crazy about it. Who told you coke? Who told you?
Yeah. Don't be a little bitch. There's just some meth before we go golfing. Come on. Jesus Christ. What's your problem? Just do a bump.
If people do that in their cars in private before they show up places, they're not nearly as social, even though those are very social drugs. What movie are we reviewing today, Kenny?
Today we're going to review the 1986 Canon Group release, Firewalker, directed by J. Lee Thompson and starring Chuck Norris and Louis Gossett Jr.
It's always a good sign when you see that Canon logo in front of a movie you've never heard of before,
I actually get excited about the Canon logo. I think the Canon movies of the 80s especially were fucking awesome in a special way.
Yeah. Yeah. They had some good movies, of course, but before we get into that, are there any movies you want to talk about that you've seen since our last episode?
Well, the only one I went out to the theater to see, I had to go to the theater. There's no way else to not see it, but the theater is The Beekeeper, starring Jason Statham. Yeah.
Do you like it?
I liked it fine. I like, those kind of action movies, but, if you're not a Statham fan, there's not a real, reason to go to it. Did seem kind of not of this era. I was surprised at how kind of throwback it kind of felt. And even like Megan, when we left, she's like, who is that guy? And I was like, it's Jason Statham. He's been in a ton of movies. She's like, oh, she's like, why is he back? And I didn't really have an answer for that. It does feel like a comeback movie for him, even though it's very much like a January release, It's like, okay.
I heard and he was just in Expendables, but I also Like he was the star of the last Expendables, from what I heard.
Yeah, it was a Expendables movie, but he was basically it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's his movie.
I heard Beekeeper has some pretty it gets pretty wild at times. Do you feel that way, or do you feel it could have gone way harder?
There's a couple of interesting kind of kills and stuff, but I wouldn't say it gets any crazier than any given John Wick movie or any given like you killed my fill in the blank. Now I got to go kill all of you. Type movie we've seen a million times. But if you like action movies, yeah, it's worth seeing.
Was that John Wick that started? You killed something, even though it was a puppy. Not that big of a deal. And I'm gonna.
No, that goes way fucking back. The whole you killed my I don't know when that started, but I bet
Well,
like the
not
six.
family or anything, but something not that big of a deal, and the guy goes on revenge for it. Like, can you
Well,
put
even
your finger on it?
spoof that like Last Action Hero, like, oh, you killed his second, third partner. Now he's got to get revenge on all you drug dealers. Like it's been a cliche for a long time.
Yeah.
How about you? What did you do or see this past few weeks?
Sorry, I forgot we were still recording. I didn't.
Get trapped in my own life, my own thoughts so much. It's I remember you're still there.
The one I absolutely loved, and it was like one of the best movies I've seen in a long time, is Decision to Leave.
Oh, I don't know. I'm familiar with that one.
Korean movie from last year from the guy who did Old Boy and Mother and shit.
Okay.
Really fucking good. It's very. I thought it was very Hitchcockian, and I am not that big of a Hitchcock guy, as far as I love him, but I haven't seen all his library and don't live by him.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like reading on the movies, like, yeah, I was really taken from like one of these Hitchcock movies I've seen. I was like, I was right. That aside, brilliant movie. Highly suggest it. I'm not going to say much, but highly suggest it.
Okay.
You can rent it on Amazon, but I thought it was a phenomenal movie. Should be talked about more. Considering it just came out last year, it's amazing.
Nice.
Decision to Leave.
Decision to Leave.
I also saw Marvels.
The Marvels. All right. Now that's something worth talking about. Not your little foreign film that you loved. All right. Let's
Yeah,
get into
now we're
Marvels.
buddies on buddies. Yeah,
Now we're back to some fucking good buddies on buddies talk. All right. Let's do
view
the
counts.
Marvels.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Cuck. Libtard, cuck.
Hey, whoa. Easy.
Sorry, go ahead. You were saying.
No, it was good. It had fun ideas, and like it could have been a much better movie, and then it just dissolves into the bullshit climax punch.
Yeah.
Big
But it's
thing.
not as bad as all the internet said and everybody.
No, it's one of their best movies in a while.
Really?
As far as like good ideas and stuff, I thought it was entertaining. It's for women. It gears geared towards women, but that's fine. I thought it was a lot of fun. It bombed because of fatigue. It's like no one. Why would we see this? Like,
yeah, I haven't seen a lot of the last Marvel movies just because I don't know, around Shang-Chi or something. I was like, this is getting a little old.
yeah. After I think Avengers Endgame ended so well that people are like, meh.
Yeah. They weren't like, time for phase 5, baby.
Let's reload.
Yeah.
No, now they're gonna have to like top that more or less, and I don't think that's feasible to do on a consistent basis. So,
well, nothing lasts forever, and the superhero genre has been going at full steam for like 24 years now. So yeah, I mean everything kind of has its day, but yeah, we'll see.
what's your favorite superhero movie?
Favorite superhero movie?
Gun to your head. I like that term because weren't we just having a fun little theoretical conversation?
Superman 3.
I
love the drunken Superman asshole Superman section of that movie. I could watch that on a loop. Yeah, that's
the movie as a whole. That's your favorite superhero. Your favorite.
Hey, you said gun to my head. That's the first thing that came to my mind. So that's all I could think of.
Your family's about to get raped. What's your favorite superhero movie?
Richard Pryor's amazing in that.
Well,
I don't know if you remember, like Sam Peckinpah was in talks to do a Superman movie at one point, but then like back before the original one, supposedly he pulled a gun on the producers, like just in the initial meetings, so they didn't go forward with him. He wanted to do like Clint Eastwood to play Superman, and him being this like violent drunk and shit. And I think it would have been like that whole middle section of Superman 3, and that's one of the Sam Peckinpah's Superman is something one of the great unmade movies that I would die to see.
Some of those, though, that was probably a section of his pitch, and it gets blown out of proportion. It's like Aronofsky, I believe, had a Batman pitch. He's like, Batman's going to be homeless and he's going to be black and he's going to have, his car is going to be something he makes himself in a shop. Then I actually read his pitch, and that was just like he was pretending to be homeless to learn the street level stuff. It was all blown out of proportion.
One little scene, it's like, Christopher Nolan's like, oh, he's in some like Asian prison the whole time. No, it's like from one little section at the beginning.
Yeah, and they take little bits of it and then put it in their headline, and then they get clicks. Even back in the day, so
Yeah.
modern journalism. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I still love the fact that Sam Peckinpah pulled a gun on producers, if it's true, over the Superman movie. It's great.
Who knows? Maybe he
Who
did.
knows?
I doubt it.
I like to believe he did.
Yeah, that's my peck and paw.
That's my Peckinpah baby.
I like that for a name of your indie movie, My Peck and Paw.
That's our. I'd say Vive la Peckinpah. That would be my autobiography.
All right, is there anything else we need to know about? You want to jump into the
So the movie we're reviewing this week,
Firewalker? I believe
Firewalker.
it's your turn to go over the plot for Firewalker.
Okay, these two adventurers. We don't really know what their official job titles are. I guess they're adventurers. Are approached by a woman in a bar that has a treasure map, and she needs their assistance in finding this treasure. And I am not sure if they're in Central America, Middle East,
They were in
or
Mexico.
well, they filmed in Mexico. I think they're supposed to be, but at the beginning they're being chased by like
Yeah,
these.
that was in like Middle East somewhere, like Saudi.
Middle East, and then they just walk away, and now they're in a bar. I think it's the United States, and then they're in Mexico. I don't know. I was very confused about where the hell they're supposed to be, but I don't think it really mattered. What are your initial thoughts? What do you think, kind of overall, of Firewalker?
Yeah, not a fan. Did not like it at all.
Oh, really? I didn't see that coming at all.
It was one of those like, why do we do this?
Really?
Like, we need to get a good movie in the rotation. It's been a while since we watched a genuinely well-made movie. At least it feels like it's been a while. And I'm stupid too, because I've been watching '90s forgotten movies that aren't buddy action comedies, but they are the same quality. Like what are that's Mean Streets. Haven't seen, not Mean Streets, but what's it called? The one with sorry, I'm eating up a lot of time here, so I'm also trying to find my notes. Um Kurt Russell and
Oh, the Mean Season?
The Mean Season. Yeah, so I watched that. That's a pretty bad movie of this quality of average thing we see here. Then I watched that Brian Dennehy movie with James Woods.
Oh,
Like,
Bestseller.
yeah, the
Yeah.
best song. I'm like, why am I watching these movies and then have to watch these on top of it?
That's your choice, man. I'm not telling you what to watch. I just give you one movie per every like couple weeks or so. I don't say, hey, you got to watch also, and also for your research, watch Bestseller, Mean Season, all this other shit.
But Firewalker, it's a really bad movie because, like you said, who are these guys? I guess they're mercenaries or like professional treasure hunters. They don't ground these characters in anything. They talk about all their adventures they were on, which sound much more interesting than the current adventure they're on. The action just becomes generic Chuck Norris slow-mo kicking and punching guys, a lot of punching towards the camera, like, whoa, I'm getting punched by Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
No, wasn't a fan. What'd you think overall before we get into specific notes?
I liked it. Yeah, I dug it. I don't disagree with you about anything you say. I mean, it's basically, yeah, it's not a good movie as far as like, oh man, you got to see Firewalker. But also, I kind of knew going in, it being canon and Chuck Norris. I don't know how many Chuck Norris movies you've actually, sat through. This is not going to be
Lethal Weapon. 80s, plenty.
Well, this is not going to be Lethal Weapon or 48 Hours. I'd never actually seen it before, and so going into it, I kind of knew what to expect. Plus, the reviews where it just got panned really hard, even for a Chuck Norris movie at the time. But I enjoyed it. It was exactly what I hoped or thought it would be. It's very silly. It makes no sense. It moves along at a pretty good pace. There's lots of silly, stupid shit that makes no goddamn sense, but I thought it was pretty entertaining for what it was with my low expectations and stuff, and I enjoyed it.
Well, it's obviously an Indiana Jones ripoff, just like a buddy comedy version of that.
Yeah,
I didn't know this until after, but the most popular Indiana Jones ripoff, of which there are many, is King Solomon's Mines. And I'm pretty sure this is the same director, right?
It could be a J. Lee Thompson. I guess John Rhys Davies, who was in Raiders of the Lost Ark and Indiana Jones, he pops up in all these. They just hired him for every movie. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't really remember the King Solomon's Mines ones, but yeah, every critic basically pointed out this is a ripoff of Indiana Jones and Romancing the Stone too at the time. So, but that didn't really bother me that much. I mean, I was kind of, I go back to they're ripping off Indiana Jones, whatever. I kind of like that they're trying to play in the same, sandbox or whatever.
And Indiana Jones in itself was a ripoff. If these movies were better quality, it would just be called a new genre.
Well, maybe. I mean, I wouldn't call it just a ripoff, or maybe homage to old serials or something like Star Wars. I would call Star Wars a
It did
ripoff
a
or
great
something.
job recontextualizing it for modern audiences, where these ones
Yeah.
just rip off Indiana Jones instead of trying to do anything with
They're
the.
just going for that style. But it is, I would say, would you? I'd say this is a buddy action comedy movie. It is, other than it's kind of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. There's a third, the
Yeah,
female woman there. So it's a little bit of a try,
no, but
three.
she's a damsel in distress most of the time, and
You know,
it's them. They do have very comedic banter. They're both charming. They're both rogues.
mhm.
No real dynamic between the two, because except Louis Gossett Jr. gets his ass kicked,
Uh-huh.
and Chuck Norris wins every time. And his
Wins
only
every
weakness is he can't shoot a gun. And then at the end, what does he do? Shoots the gun perfectly.
perfectly. Love that setup. Also, very predictable movie. When the bad guys, the opening scene, have them staked down in the middle of the desert and are going to leave them. He's like, "I'm going to give you a glass bottle of Perrier to hold in your hand, and so you won't have the water will be within your reach, but you can." Ah, ha, ha, ha. And did you immediately think he's going to break that glass and use it to cut the ropes?
I tell you, Kenny, I wasn't watching it going, what's going to happen next?
I was like, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it every time. I was very proud of myself for predicting this movie.
I want to just talk about the elephant in the room. And we
Sure.
mentioned Chuck Norris. You grew up when we grew up, you're going to see a lot of Chuck Norris movies. Of course, none of them are any good.
Uh-huh.
Um, I do not like Chuck Norris, and this just really brings
Just
home to me. He
like
sucks.
personally, or just as a performer.
I don't know him personally.
Well, I thought you might have had a personal vendetta. Like
Oh
I wouldn't
yeah,
be
he
son of
was
a
my
bastard. He gave me some shit.
when he was shooting Texas Ranger and I was a kid. He babysitted for us one time and he pinned me down and farted in my face. I don't like the guy.
I would. I'd be sympathetic to
No, I just don't like him as an actor. He's not cool. And then this one, he tries to be really cool. He's like trying to be Han Solo.
that.
Of
He's
course, he
trying to be
doesn't pull
Ben
it.
a lot too.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Can't act at all. The two leads, Louis Gossett Jr. and even the woman who's a very fine actress for the material, they were acting circles around him, and he just is the worst. He has
Well,
zero charm.
okay.
What is charming about him?
What's charming about him? Number one martial arts white guy ever. No. Um,
Pretty much, it's all he's a white guy that can kick.
well, okay. I'm not. I've seen watched a shitload of movies, all the action stars from the 70s, 80s, 90s, all that shit. I will agree. He's probably the most wooden of, like, even Steven Seagal maybe even has a little more charisma or something to him. But I will say, in Chuck Norris's defense, not like he needs it, is that if you watch the 70s ones, he was in like Good Guys Wear Black and shit. It's kind of like watching like Schwarzenegger and Hercules in New York and Conan, and then seeing him in True Lies and stuff. Like he did. It doesn't seem like a lot, but if you watch the 70s movies where he's really fucking wooden and can't, can barely say his lines and get through a scene, and then see Firewalker, it's like, wow, he's really grown as an actor. This is great.
That is no defense. That
On
is.
his defense, I think I know his range, and I thought he's
Oh,
really giving it his
you
all.
think he's bad now? You should see the shit where he's real bad.
Really bad. Yeah, exactly. You should appreciate his range here.
I'm just going to say this too, really insensitive to both Mexicans, their culture, and also indigenous people. Just fucking takes a ride on the Native Americans or indigenous
Yeah,
people, whatever you're supposed to call them.
yeah. Unfortunately, it's almost like a checklist part. This part, where I'm waiting for that just to fill this, this off the thing with those old 80s movies and stuff.
Also, you talked about Rice Davis. What's his name?
John Rhys
John
Davies. Yeah.
Reese Davies.
Uh
His whole
huh.
sequence could be cut. It did not impact the movie whatsoever. They go, they meet him and his group of
Yeah. But
uh,
he was
students.
great though. I thought he was kind of great in his part. Out of character. He's well, not typically his character. Yeah.
He's great, but again, they hint at a past that I wish I was watching instead of this movie. Uh, but then he's
I
there, they drink, they go their
yeah.
separate ways. That's it. You can cut that out. The movie's fine.
Well, I think it's probably already like Well, it actually wasn't. But anyway, I like that whole scene. Even though I thought a lot of this movie, it didn't matter if a scene was in there or not. It just everything just there's a treasure map. We got to go. Boom.
Talking about if it's a comedy, there was the scene where it's the only scene with an actual comedic set piece. So the rest is
Mhm.
just kind of charming and banter. When they
Yeah.
dress as priests and
Yeah.
her as a nun, the guy dies and they have to give him last rites, and they're making up Latin or whatever the fuck and trying to pretend they're doing the last rites and making up words, and the guy survives,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't actually dead, and he thinks they saved him. That's a good comedic set piece, executed well considering.
I think you like this movie a lot more than you're letting on. I think you had a blast.
I certainly watched this movie.
That's a good review. Yeah, certainly watched it.
And for an indie clone, they don't even do anything Indiana Jones until basically the final act, the opening,
Yeah,
and then
there's
the
the
final
opening
when
and the
they
caves, finding the stuff. That's kind of Indiana
they go
Jones-ish.
to the temple. That's like when they finally do something Indiana Jones.
Okay.
Bar fight, okay, sure, but
That bar fight I thought was pretty fucking amusing. The amount of spin kicks over and over and over, and just they keep getting more dramatic and slower and slowed down.
do you
I was
guys
I enjoyed that bar fight for as far as 80s bar fights go. I thought it was good.
you enjoy it because it's bad though?
I don't think so. I don't think it's so bad it's good. I think it's a buddy action comedy and I'm enjoying it, so I'm not really gonna like break it down that much.
What are we doing here?
I don't know. I certainly don't enjoy breaking down buddy action comedies. If that's what you're getting at.
Oh, you're being too hard on it. No, it's a good movie for what it was. No, stop it. No, 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 no. You're being hard on it. You're being hard on it.
Yeah, yeah. Come on. You're bullying Firewalker here. Also, it's kind of a misnomer, that title. No one actually walks on fire this entire movie.
No, don't they call the
Yeah, the guy wants to get the
guy?
power of this god that was called kind of a fire. I just thought, though, you call a movie Firewalker, let's see a guy walk on fire.
What was with the bad guy's special move where he puts his hand over your face and then you die?
That was weird. He strangles the guy from Seinfeld, Mr. Pip, or he kind of just I don't know, just puts his hand over his face and kills him.
Yeah,
Or
he's like,
something. Well, I didn't even understand what his powers actually are before. He does a chant at one point that gets possesses a woman to kill a guy. Then the other Native American guy does an anti-chant on his chant, and it's a very strange scene. Yeah, I didn't understand any of that.
and then a bullet kills him.
Well, it kills him. It comes back to life. Then he gets stabbed, and then he bursts into flames.
The special
I
knife
don't know.
kills him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the biggest problem with Chuck Norris. I think he has no sexual charisma. You know,
How have you tested this?
I tried to kiss him when he was
I
baby,
didn't get an erection. That's how
and
I
he
tested
pinned me
it.
down and he farted in my face.
Okay. So that's why he has no sexual charisma. Dude, I think he's oozing with sexual charisma. I just don't think
Disagree. No, it's because his chemistry with the female lead, like they had zero chemistry,
well,
like zero.
she wasn't. I don't know. She wasn't my favorite character. I mean, she kind of just plays the American. It's kind of reminded me of the everyone gave her a hard time. The Temple of Doom, Lady Kate Capshaw.
Yeah,
I kind of like Kate Capshaw, but everyone was basically like, oh, she was the worst and stuff. So kind of another one of those ladies. I don't even know if she really even needed to be throughout the whole movie. Could just been the two guys.
oh yeah, but you would have liked that.
Hey, I'm not the one that's trying to get aroused from Chuck Norris, man.
I'm not trying to. It help.
I tried and I failed.
I could. I'm watching this Louis Gossett Jr. dripping sexual charisma.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, he had more chemistry with the lady
I
than.
think I know your preference for guys right now. I think that's.
What are you talking about? Bald?
Oh yeah, I'll leave it at that. Well, I don't know. I don't want to leave it at that.
Because Louis Gossett Jr. was in his 50s that time. Older bald men,
Older bald men. Okay, fine.
like my stepdad.
You're getting real weird now. Anyway, I think Chuck Norris is hot. Let's leave it at that.
I don't think he's hot. I'm sorry.
Huh. Well,
Oh, what? You can't tell if a guy's hot or not?
no,
You can't tell if a guy's hot.
no.
So when a hot piece of action walks in, you don't go, that guy's
I
pretty.
see a sandwich. That's about it. Just like whatever.
All I see is a mark.
All I see is a guy I'd fucking punch the fucking face.
All I see is a guy I could take.
Yeah, no, I have no ranking for handsome guys. They're all ugly. You said to me.
Man, your parents did a number on you.
Yeah, no issues at all.
You see this tool shed behind me? That means I'm not attracted to men. Get it?
Got it, America. Okay, let's move on.
I'm not doing this discussion again.
See what I got here. Movie definitely has a dad movie vibe. I would say that. That's this is probably one of the more dad movies we've watched. What would you say on the dad movie scale?
Yeah, you throw it on. Dads don't care. They don't have much of a working brain as far as film criticism goes. They're not
Well,
really poking holes in anything. Like, oh yeah, I like when he kicked the guy.
I don't know. I mean, I guess you say all of these are dad movies in a way, but I'd say this is more of a dad movie than like Shanghai Noon would be the other one's a real dad movie. Or I don't know if like the Glimmer Man would count, or
No,
I don't
Glimmerman.
know,
Glimmerman.
just well, it would count. But I'm saying on the dad movie scale, it just is like it's like a very dad high.
Yeah, I think a lot of these are dad movies. Where if you're home for the holidays, you could throw one of these on.
Sure, yeah.
Except for like the one where he had a gay partner. I don't think any dads would appreciate it.
Partners? No, no one dad's gonna admit to liking partners. Yeah,
Right.
but I'm saying this one just dad movie scale seemed quite high.
Yeah.
Um, let's see here. What the hell are they? The music, pretty bad. It does not touch John Williams' score for the Raiders movies. I think felt like it was all on keyboard, like ding, dong, all that stuff. I don't think they used an orchestra, but not surprising. It's canon.
Yeah, they'd have money for an orchestra.
Right.
Any other notes?
Well, last or a couple weeks ago, not in the movie. Oh, well, since we spoke about John Rhys Davies, I have a little story anecdote about him. When I was working as a waiter in LA, I was working this restaurant. He came in and with his like manager agent, and it's one of the few times you're not supposed to like talk to the person you're waiting on and give them like, oh man, big fan and stuff. But I figured with character actors, I could do that a little more. And I was like, oh man, you're Indiana Jones, Lord of the Rings, James Bond, like wow, yeah, you did such great work, ready to go. And he was kind of like, oh, thank you, young man, blah, blah, blah. And there was another guy there named Tate, and he was a white bald guy as a waiter. And on the way out, John
That's
Rhys
how I
Davies,
like them.
yeah, tone it down a little bit. Let me get to the story before you get all hot and bothered. And so on the way out, he just like went up to Tate and was like, put his arm around, was like, "You're a very charming young man. Like I really, I really enjoyed your company. You got a lot going for you. And then left. And Tate was like, "Wow, that was really cool. Like that guy thinks I'm awesome." He's like, "No, he got you fucking confused with me." Anyway,
Either way, he forgot who you were or he liked Tate more. Either way, there's no compliment there.
there's no real compliment for either of us, I don't think. But at least he was nice. He was trying to make somebody's day, I think.
And if he had gotten the right person, if he had put his arm around you, you would have been riding that high for quite some time.
I would have mentioned it to you, probably. Yeah, back then, yeah.
The story's funnier this way, though.
Well, I saved it all these years. Now I finally have a format or a
Platform.
platform for it. Whatever. Okay. Well, so do you have any other notes on Firewalker?
Nope. I read through my notes, came up with a few off the top of my head because I'm a pro. Not much to talk about. It reminded me of someone playing with GI Joes in their backyard
Mm-hmm.
without any, clear narrative or direction.
Hmm. Well, it reminded me of a fucking 80s canon movie that starred Chuck Norris and Louis Gossett Jr. I enjoyed it. I thought it was, for what it was, that was, yes, this is what I thought it was.
You must keep your scalpel pretty sharp with dissections like that, my friend.
Exactly. It's what I thought it would be, and it was.
What would you give this on a well, first of all, this did okay at the box office, but not nearly as much as other Chuck Norris movies were making at the time. So no sequel, and then Cannon went out of business pretty soon.
It did okay, but I don't think even Chuck Norris movies did that well. I mean, it did like okay, but they were hoping like by 1986 they were starting to like really like Canada was going in the shitter, so they were hoping they'd get like these big returns, get a little bigger budgets. I think it's a little bigger budget than they were normally working with. So it didn't make the money they were hoping. They had made like 12 million, which wasn't terrible back then, but could not be called a hit at all.
Yeah, it's too bad they didn't make more of these because they had a lot of adventures.
Yeah, I would see Firewalker 2. It's probably be like, not starring Chuck Norris or Louis Gossett Jr.
It'd be a prequel.
Oh, prequel. The early Firewalker, the early years. Yeah.
How they meet and everything,
Yeah.
What they do for a living, because that wasn't
Do you
mentioned.
think the giant cult of Firewalker is waiting for that? Well, they made a Bulletproof 2 sequel, and we thought no one was holding their breath for that one. So who knows?
For all we know, it's out there.
Yeah.
Louis Gossett Jr. still kicking too. He was in the new Color Purple.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
I could have sworn he died, but I'm glad he's still alive. Hey, all right, way to go. And Chuck Norris is still alive too.
yeah.
So
Good for those
hey,
guys.
yeah, reverse curse movie. Well, Sonny Landham's dead, but whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Rice Davies is still alive as well.
Yeah,
He was in a movie this year as well. That's crazy. So yeah, Reverse Curse. Who died?
Sonny Landham, he plays the bad guy. He's in
Uh,
Predator, 48
yeah, yeah,
Hours, all that stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
His
Oh,
eye
yeah.
patch keeps switching. A lot of critics pointed that out too, like over and over again.
And it wasn't a creative choice either. It's
You don't
just,
think so? I think that wacky J. Lee Thompson director, I think he wanted to, he knew what he was doing.
I doubt it. How
Yeah.
would you rate this as a movie?
I give it 3.5 out of 5. Yep. Solid 3.5.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. What are you giving it? What, you know, what's your rating, bud?
A two.
Two?
They did what they could with their budget.
Yeah.
Louis Gossett Jr. is great. Chuck Norris fucking sucks.
Would
Um,
you ever see a Chuck Norris movie?
would I
Like,
ever?
yeah, on your own, just like I'll
No,
check that.
no. In fact, if there was a movie I really wanted to see and I saw Chuck Norris was top three build, no thanks.
Mhm.
I wouldn't watch it just because of his presence. That's how much
Yeah.
I'm realizing I dislike him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the critics always were pretty unkind to Chuck Norris films. I think the only one that got good reviews was Code of Silence, but I'm pretty sure that because Andrew Davies directed it, who went on to do like Under Siege of the Fugitive and stuff, like Academy Award winning director. So that's the only one I could think of that got like positive reviews ever. I think the worst movie he did that I ever saw was Top Dog. That when we teamed up with the dog that actually got a theatrical release. But so that's the scale of what you're working with Chuck Norris. You got Code of Silence, and then you got Top Dog down
It's literally just the white patriarchy going, hey, there's a white guy. Let's put who can kick, let's put him in as many
there.
movies
Yeah,
as possible.
yeah, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal. Like, yeah, it's a martial arts white guy. Thank God, we can get on board with this.
Finally, my kids don't have to connect with that Bruce character.
Rip that poster right off the wall. Put up Chuck Norris. God damn it, American Ninja, Michael Dudikoff.
Yeah, I'd give it a. I think I already said two. Yeah, sucked.
Yeah.
Sucked.
Now, or a couple weeks ago, you said you want to introduce a new element to this show where we're doing like movie quotes, and I was going to throw some movie quotes at you. They're from buddy action comedy movies.
But you said
Uh,
no.
I know I said no, but I'm throwing it at you anyway.
You want
Okay.
to improvise?
Well, no, you said to see if you can guess the quote.
I would have studied for this, Kenny.
No, you wouldn't know. All right. Here we go. All right. First one. What a boner.
What a boner. Now, I don't like movie quotes. I'm not good at guessing them.
Okay.
Boner. What a boner. Who really had a boner?
These are, can I give you a hint to these?
We've
They're all
watched
we've
them.
reviewed.
Yes,
We've reviewed.
no, I know. I remember the line. I'm just trying to think of what movie. All right, give me another hint.
1987, Washington State.
Washington State, 87. I have no idea. What is it?
Stakeout. That was a what a boner. That's the closing line of the movie. What a boner.
I forgot we watched that movie.
Yeah. Okay. If it's got hair, I can ride it. If it's got a beat, I can dance to it.
It's got hair, I can write it. It's got a beat, I can dance to it. Shanghai Noon?
No, good guess though. That was The Cowboy Way. It's Woody Harrelson, The Cowboy Way.
Forgot we watched that one.
Yeah. All right. Hey, you, come here. I see mayonnaise. Did anybody in this hear me say the word mayonnaise? Read your notes. What does it say? Cheeseburger, well done, raw onion, ketchup, pickle. You call that well done? In addition to the mayonnaise, I see lettuce. Lettuce that somebody tried to scrape off here. This is a disaster. What the hell do they teach you at the academy anyway? You want to be a detective when you grow up? What do you think that one is?
I would have to guess that's Cop and a Half.
No, that's Hollywood Homicide. That's Harrison Ford. An early scene when they're trying to get you to ingratiate you with the character being a fucking asshole, fussy dick about his cheeseburger. All right, we'll do one more. Okay. You know, I can't tell if you're really motherfucking dumb or really motherfucking smart.
48 Hours.
No, that was the guard, Don Cheadle in The Guard.
That's a
So you
good
got none of those. All right.
I'm going to be honest with you, Kenny. Your new segment sucks.
Well, I try to pitch stuff new. I was telling you, this is getting stale, so let's try to throw in some stuff. But you were kind of adamant, no, the show's perfect. So I was like, you know what, it is perfect. We'll just keep rolling on. Awesome.
What are we doing next week of this wonderful experience?
Well, for next week, I was thinking we should do a good movie. That's finally because you've been picking all this crap fest shit. We should do Midnight Runners, that South Korean movie we've mentioned about 7 times on the show.
Is this supposed to be good?
It's supposed to be good. It's got a high rating.
All right, it won't be next week, but we can do Midnight Runners next.
Okay. Well, when are we gonna do this again, Princess?
No, I don't have a crystal ball in front of me.
Whenever I get around to seeing Midnight Runners, I'll send it to you tomorrow. We'll watch it in the morning. We can do it one tomorrow night.
Why don't we hash this out here, though? What other segments? Because we do want to do more segments. Do you have any other segment pitches?
Hey, people in the comments, vote. What segments would you like